Hey everyone, welcome back to This Corner. Today we're looking at Lamia Avicii, the most mechanically unique deck right now, at the moment, for Soul Masters TCG. Why is it mechanically unique? You will see soon. So, starting off, this is just like any other starter decks that you will have, but first off, we do see that our box is way bigger, allowing for more card space and be able to store more cards inside. But there's a little downside to this, because now when you open the box, even though it has much better presentation and things like that, you'll notice that even this is all sleeved, so just you can see all the cards sleeved together, they fit perfectly. I just did shuffle them around. You will have almost the same space, a little bit less, for your life chips, and you can see that it has 5 green chips instead of the blue and 1 purple pinkish style, and that is because Lamia is a deck that has less health than all the others. So it's a mechanically unique commander because it only has a base version. That's it. There's nothing more. So we only have one base commander. So it's gonna be a really different type of style of gameplay that you're gonna use. So think of it kind of like a fighting game where you have the turtle style, which is gonna be really defensive and try to save yourself from that. And that's part of the game of how it's gonna be played out. As you can see, and I do have them all sleeved together with the official Lamia Avicii sleeves from Dragon Shield. They'll have a total of 7 resources, so it will be 7 bleeds. So she is a Vampirian, so that means if you play Saturn, you'll be ready to go and almost have all those cards ready. You also have your 5 piece of the reserve deck, but the most important part of all the cards is all grown up, so we'll get that too in a few. And finally, we have all the rest of the deck ready to go. But then you're noticing that there's more cards here. So what's happening here is that with Lamia Avicii, they decided to release the whole deck with the extra cards that technically would be from the booster pack ready, and it will be a total of almost 10 more cards, full place and everything. As you can see, it is already modified, so I already modified my deck to be able to play it from the get-go with that, and it does not include anything from Saturn's Assassin's Guild Vampire deck, so you can add those cards too if you want to be able to make something different even more. So starting off, what is Lamia Avicii? Besides being something different, she is one of the commanders that will, every turn, if you do it, you're gonna put it sideways and you're gonna search your deck for a Arslan. In the case that you do not pay any, you're just gonna get a 1-cost Arslan. But if you pay 2 bleeds, you're gonna get the 3-cost Arslan. So it's go 1, 3, 5. So let's get that final Arslan. Sorry for the delay, but here we go. You can get a 3-cost Arslan, and the only one that you would have to actually tutor up or be able to draw it from the game would be your 5-cost Arslan. So see, now that you can see like a little stack of Arslans over the course of the game, and those are tutorable and you can get them for the game. So what's the problem with them? So all the Arslans do have the unique mechanic. So that means that only one card with the Arslan keyword or the Arslan name and with the unique type can be on the field at any given time. So if my hand would be 5 Arslans just like this, and I already have this one in the field, I cannot play any more to try to force this one to die. I need to allow it to be able to KO or something like that, and then I can play my next Arslan and so forth and so forth. What's gonna happen now is that you also do have the option to sacrifice your cost 1 or 3 Arslans over the course of the game to get the 5 costs into the field, or they give you a damage reduction in terms of the spell if they have an attack. So it's one of those cards that's really kind of hard to get into it and understand how it plays out, but it's really, really fun once you get the gist of it in terms of the game, how it plays out. So that's pretty much the first main effect that Lamia has. Her other effect is that she can, and during the defender phase, pay 1 health, and you're gonna negate an attack on Arslan. Why is that? Because Arslan has the heavy mechanic. Heavy means that this unit can be attacked if ready. It is a form of protection that we had in the game to be able to ensure that you can attack really, really big units that are problematic, because Arslans, all of them, including the 5 cost and the 3 cost, protect your Lamia Avicii from taking damage. So that means that if your opponent tries to attack you and try to deal damage to Lamia, it's not gonna do anything because we have Arslan on the field. It's just gonna bounce off. So it's just an attack that's not gonna generate anything. So this is one of the key games mechanic for Lamia, that we want to keep our Arslan safe, but we also want to make sure that we don't take enough damage since we only have 5 health and we have no evolutions. So it is a really tough game for her in some cases, like such as Catchy or maybe Athena, to be able to survive. But don't forget that we got another little secret here with Lamia. Lamia has a really big wall of text in the beginning saying that whenever she's gonna take damage, we're gonna reduce it to 1. And when she loses health from damage, you can draw 1 card and generate 1 bleed, sort of like if it was constantly evolving through all the damage that she's gonna be taking, or evolving through every time that she takes 1 point of damage. So why is this necessary? Because it's the way to protect her until we get all the bleeds. In turns, we get 4 bleeds, and we can play during even the opponent's turn, pay 4, and we'll get our All Grown Up. All Grown Up is the first card that we see in the game that it comes from the reserve deck. It's an ability, and it overtakes or replaces your commander in the game. And once you have it here, you have a full-on commander that can be attacked, so Arslan's protection does not benefit her since she's all grown up, but she's gonna have a little bit more defensive. She has more health now, so down she has 10, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 10. And when she attacks, she'll get one point of damage extra to her damage, so she'll do 3 for each Arslan on your discard. So that means if we have all this Arslan, so we have 5 here in the discard, that means that she's gonna deal a total of 8 damage every time she attacks. So it's interesting how the whole concept of how it works out. Another key mechanic that is introduced with the Lamia deck is the Bruiser's Guild. So Bruiser's Guild are using a different type of form of attacking, in which every time you attack with a Bruiser Guild, every other card that has banding, in this case banding is that the whole band is attacking together, they get the whole band is playing together and they'll benefit from it, and they'll get a benefit when you attack with that. So some case you want to attack with Arslan, that's also a Bruiser's Guild unit, and then when you attack with Destiny, she will get +1 damage or +1 resource and things like that. So we do have a lot of ways in the game, or in this case in this deck from the get-go, to generate extra resources, get more benefits and things like that. So think of it of banding kind of like a mixture of phasing without actually phasing in or changing cards. It's just you have to attack with everything to get that extra benefit. So that's pretty much the main mechanics that I've seen with Lamia that I really do like to point out. And I think it's a really fun deck, even though it's really a puzzle of how to defeat her over the course of the game and how you beat your opponents over the course of the game. She's one of the few commanders that has armor, so that means that any source of damage you're gonna deal is gonna be lowered by 1, and then if you're gonna deal damage, then you apply the Baby Lamia effect to reduce it to 1. So that means that if you attack with Destiny for 3 to my commander, she's gonna deal 3 minus 1 from the armor, so it's a 2. So if I shield, I only have to shield with a card of 2 to prevent all the damage that's gonna be dealt to me. And it allows a little bit more strategy in terms of the card draw and things like that. All around, it's a fun deck. It's a little bit more expensive compared to the normal starter deck because it does have the extra cards included, and I think it's great and hope you enjoy it. So thank you all for passing by. See you next time.